What's up, guys? Hopefully you can hear me good. It's the first time recording with it set up the way it is, so yeah. So it's been a while since I've uploaded. I apologize about that. Life has been very interesting the past month. So today, as I record this, it is October 6th. 6th. I always say that weird. My last day of work was September 14th. Yeah, so I've been off work for almost a month. And I'm just now uploading this video. Well, I'm just now recording this video. To be fair, I've recorded it like 4 different times now, I think. And literally, it's been like a half hour each time. And I've just been like downstairs walking around holding the phone, and just the video's gone in every which direction. So I'm like, nope, not that one. Do it again a couple days later. Nope, not that one. So finally doing this one. Whatever the hell comes of it is what's going up there. So yeah, if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I do work in the automotive industry. And if you're curious, yes, I am laid off because of the strikes. I am not on strike. I'm just laid off due to the strike, if that makes sense. So I don't want to go like into detail about where I work, but we build parts for the Toledo Jeep Chrysler facility, whatever the heck you want to call it. They build the Wrangler and the Gladiator. We build parts for them, and we build the parts like as they need it, if that makes sense. Like, we don't just like build one type of part or whatever. Like, they send us what they need as they need it, like literally as the day goes by. Like, they send us what they need and then we build it. We're ahead of them, obviously, like that's how it works, but like only a couple hours. So with them not working, obviously we're not working. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. That was one of the first 3 plants that the Sean Fain guy decided to strike. I'll kind of get into that here in this video too, like my thoughts on the whole strike process, because it's been a roller coaster. So yeah, my last day of work, let's just backtrack a little bit more. My last day of work was September 14th. I think it was a Thursday. And then that night on second shift, when it rolled over to the 15th at midnight, that's when he, made the announcement like, these 3 plants are going on strike. And I don't remember the 3 off the top of my head, but I know Toledo Jeep was one of the Chrysler ones. And my thought process on that is I'm confused because at least in this instance, he's chosen a plant that has like months of inventory. Like, so there's certain plants that have like a lot of vehicles built up. Like, they could be not producing vehicles for, weeks or months at a time before the dealers are going to run out of those vehicles that they're selling, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. And then there's other vehicles like the Ram, for instance. I don't know how true this is, so please take what I say with a grain of salt. From what I've heard through Facebook, so we know how that goes. It could be true. It could be the farthest thing from the truth. The Ram truck cannot keep up with the production. Like, they cannot keep up with what they're selling. So basically, they're selling faster than they're making them, which is great. That's a good thing for a vehicle to a certain extent. Obviously, like if you got like a year-long wait, for a general vehicle, that's bad. But like, if you're selling them as fast as you can build them, that's great. That plant is not on strike. He chose one to strike that, to my knowledge, has like between 3 to 6 months worth of inventory built up, which it doesn't make sense to me. I'm not the pro here, so obviously he's in that position for a reason, but it doesn't make sense to me why you would want to strike plants that have a ton of inventory stocked up versus ones that like would really hit them where it hurts. So I don't understand that, but that's what he did. So I have been laid off since that day. So, they've been talking about the strike for like a couple of months, so I've kind of like, I don't want to say like I knew about it, like I knew it was going to happen, but like, I had an idea that, there could be a strike. I've been in the auto industry for 12 years now, I believe, and we've never really even had like the threat of it. Like, of course, every time a contract comes around, like it's talked about, but like it's never been serious like this. So it needed to happen. I'm not against it, but what scares me, and I've come around a lot in the last month. Like, actually, let me backtrack. So, yes, I knew like of a possible strike, but just the way they were talking, like I'm in their Facebook groups, like they have like a secret or whatever Facebook group, and I'm in there. I don't work there obviously, but I'm a supplier, so we can like exchange information. Like if we're down and it causes them to be down, we can post in there, and vice versa. If they're down and we're like, what's going on, you can usually find out some information. That's like 99% what the group's used for, but obviously it's a lot of strike stuff right now. But everybody I talked to, they're not going on strike. They're not going on strike, and I was like, I don't think it's going to be long, but I think they're going to go on strike just from the posts I saw. And I was like, hopefully, because people were talking like, I guess they struck a long time ago, and it was like they went on strike at like Friday on second shift, and then by Monday on first shift, they were back to work with the new contract and stuff. So, like, my attitude just went down the drain. I was like, this is going to be terrible. Like, we're going to be on strike. All I get on strike is unemployment. I don't get strike pay. And I thought my unemployment was going to be like $400 a week, which is like not even half of what I'm bringing home on a good week. And I was like, that doesn't even, like, $400 a week. I'm like, that I could pay my mortgage and my car payment. And I think like literally nothing else. So like I was sweating bullets. Like I was scared out of my mind. I was like, the economy's garbage right now. So like you don't really have a savings, most people I know at least. Our hours at work have been horrendously low. So like the only reason that I was staying afloat was because I was staying over. And that last week of work, I stayed till 5 o'clock every single day. I volunteered and came in on Sunday for a few hours, which is double time, which was amazing. First Sunday I was, and it's crazy because like if you would have talked to me a year ago, I would have been like, please give me time off work. I'm sick of working Sundays. Like, let's get the weekends off and stuff. And now I'm like, please, more hours. So it's crazy. Like the auto industry is not where you want to be, at least right now. Maybe, hopefully after this contract stuff, it gets exponentially better again. Because it used to be like this, the auto industry was like where you wanted to go. Like if you didn't want to go to college and, go through schooling and, even trade schools and stuff like that, it was like automotive, like it sucks, but like it's good money. Now it's like it sucks worse and it's not good money. And, obviously you can make good money, but like you got to be there forever. But yeah, so like I was just sweating bullets, like scared out of my mind. I'm like, I'm going to have to get a different job. Like if we get laid off, like I'm going to have to get a job during that layoff. And then I started kind of like, I've toyed around the idea of, jumping into a new career path over the last year because my hours have just been like this. And it's been honestly like it's a huge weight on my chest, like everything's been good, obviously, like overall, but it's just like every day, like some days you're there till 3 p.m. and it's great because you're like, cool, this sucks, I hate it, but like also it's good pay today. And then the next day you might get done at like 11 a.m. and you only work like 4 or 5 hours, so it's really crappy. That's what I've been dealing with, but luckily with my seniority and like training in various other spots in my plant, I'm able to usually stay over if I want, which has kept me afloat and then some. Thankfully, I'm so thankful for that. But still, like, I'm not really able to like put money aside. So I had probably about a paycheck and a half, like in my savings or whatever you want to call it. Obviously, we're laid off. I dreaded filing unemployment. So the people that are on strike, like the ones that are actually called to strike, they are getting, you guys probably heard, if you're following any of the stuff on Facebook, they get $500 a week, but they have like duties that they have to do, like whether it's at the union hall or striking at their plant, like, at certain gates, at certain times. And basically, like, they're scheduled to be out there, and if you don't go out there, you don't get your strike pay. And I don't know how much it's $500 a week before taxes, and I think you can like opt out of taxes, obviously pay them at tax time, but like not pay them right now. But like, yeah, you have like scheduled duties, and if you're not there, it's like missing work, you don't get paid. And I think you have to be there for every single one. I think it's like all or nothing. Don't quote me on that, but and then I believe with the strike pay, they're able to make like, so they get $500 a week. But you're able, like, if you pick up, like, a second job or whatever, they're able to bring home, like, $499.99, like, before anything, deductions, taxes, and everything, and still qualify for the strike pay, so long as they meet their criteria or whatever. So I'm getting unemployment which is luckily it's just a hair over 500. It's like don't quote me right now. It's like 540 or something like that, and I'm super thankful for that because that's basically like an extra like over $400 a month that I didn't know that I was gonna get that I'm getting now. So I'm just kind of barely gonna stay afloat. I donated plasma a couple times during work. A lot of people started doing it, so I started doing it. I have some videos I'm gonna upload of that from way back then. It's kind of a process for me. Like I like bitch out when I'm doing it. Like I'll be donating and then it gets like super hot, almost feel like I'm gonna pass out, and like start sweating like crazy. And then when the process is done, I feel 100% fine. It's crazy, but it's cool because it's like $100 every time you do it, and then it's like 105, then 110, then 115. But I think that promo might be up. But I did it 3 times then. I actually have another appointment. Today is Friday. I have an appointment Monday to do it, and I'm gonna try to squeeze in 4 or 5 times until Halloween. Because one, I want to pay for my costume with one donation. Actually, I'll have a lot left. I'll have a little bit left over, and then donate again. We're gonna go to this bar crawl thing. It's like a Halloween one. You wear a costume. They have a costume contest. The tickets were dirt cheap. The tickets were like $10 or something like that. But you get I'm sorry, I think they were like 15. But you get like 3 free drinks, which right there kind of negates the price of the event. And you get like a lanyard, and you get to enter the costume contest and stuff like that. And the bars have like huge discounts on the drinks for the crawl or whatever. And we never done anything like that, so a bunch of us are gonna go. I think it's gonna be really fun. But obviously I don't have like disposable income, so I'm gonna go donate a couple times so I have some money for that. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do as well, though. Like what I mean by like try to get in a few times like before the end of the month. I think I have 5 more times of that promo where it's like $100 each time, and then after that, like their normal thing is like you get 40 the first time you do it for the week, and then the second time you get 100. So like let's say I go on like Monday, I get 40, and then I go on like Thursday or Friday, I'd get 100. So it's 140 for the whole week. But it really sucks because if you only donate once, like you only got $40. And for me, for how crappy it makes me feel when I'm doing it, like it's not worth 40. But 140 for 2 times, I'm like, okay, I can justify that. But anyways, back to like all the strike stuff. Every Friday he does a live on Facebook. Every week, they seem to have made this. They need to make this much progress, but they seem to be making like this much progress every week. And then like right at the deadline of him doing this live, like one of the companies will be like, "Oh, here we go. Here, let's take this. We're gonna do this. We'll agree to this." But none of the other stuff. So then he'll be like, "Well, we're not gonna strike any more people from this company because they really stepped in and started working with us." And then like he did it last week with Chrysler, and then like later that day they were trying to like bus in temp employees like into the plants, like from like temp agencies or whatever, so it's like you just said like you're gonna work with them because they're doing good in the progress, and you're not gonna strike any more of their plants, and then they just kind of like made a mockery of you right after. So it's crazy to me how this whole thing's playing out. I've never been a part of anything like this, so I don't know what to expect. At this point, I'm not expecting to be back to work until November. Like, I just feel like every week that he's not saying that we're making huge progress, it's just like a couple more weeks and a couple more weeks. So, yeah, that's what's been going on. So, that's why I haven't really uploaded since I think the roadkill video was the last video I uploaded. Life's just been stressful and chaotic. Like, that first week, maybe week and a half that I was laid off, I wasn't sleeping. Like, I just had headaches. Like, my anxiety, my chest physically hurt. I was just in the worst possible me. Like, it was terrible. Like, I was scared. I didn't know what was going to happen. But then I finally took the leap of filing my unemployment, which I thought was going to be a nightmare. And it kind of was. Like, everything went smoothly and I was approved. And then when that first week came through, so the first week is a waiting week, you don't get paid, but I was like, I got that savings, so that'll be like another paycheck, which is cool, for that waiting week, and then I'll be good after that, so waiting week comes through, and then all of a sudden, like, I look on my unemployment thing and it says denied, so I had to call them, and then they had to call me back because there's like hours long wait time, so you have to like schedule a call back. So they called me back the next day. She's like, oh yeah, your account was flagged in 2022 for fraud, so you never sent in all your proof of, like valid forms of ID and all that stuff. I'm like, well, what do I got to do for that? So she gives me an email. I had to send in a picture of my license, social security card, birth certificate, and a bank statement. And I remembered when I had filed last time, we were only off for a week, so I wasn't really worried about it. And they were like, oh yeah, you got to send us a bank statement with your whole bank account number printed on the top. And I'm like, they don't do that. It's like, it's start out just the last fours. Or, well, we need the whole thing. My bank doesn't do that, so I couldn't send it. And it was only 1 week, so I was like, screw it, whatever, I don't care. And apparently that flagged my account for fraud, so I had to send in all that stuff. She's all, oh no, it just has to be the last four. I'm like, well, last time it had to be the whole damn bank account number. So I sent all that stuff through. My phone like resized it, and so she's like, send all that stuff to this email, and then here's a number to call. So I call this number. I'm on hold for 2.5 hours. I couldn't do a callback on this one. I had to sit there on hold. So she finally answers, and I'm like, hi, I just sent all the information yesterday. She told me to give you guys a call back today. She goes, okay. She opens the email. She finds the email. They hadn't even like sorted through it or anything. And she's like, oh, none of the stuff's opening. And I'm like, oh my God. So I had to resend it on my phone, but make sure my phone didn't like resize it and convert the images to some weird format. And then she's like, okay, all right, you're all good now. So it'll change from denied to accepted. And I'm like, all right. She's like, it'll usually take a day or two, so don't worry right away. Couple days goes by. It changed from denied, but it said like waiting week not credited or something like that. So I'm like, what? It's not what she said it was gonna be. So I called again, and then I had to do a callback. So they called me back the next day, and I was like, hi, I did all of this stuff to the T. She marked the account as good and blah blah blah. She's like, oh yeah, it looks it looks like you had a claim in 2021 that's holding this one up. I'm like, why didn't she see that when she was looking at my account and she said everything was good now? So this lady's like, oh, yep, click, 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 here, you're good. All right, now by tomorrow it'll change. And then tomorrow was like a weekend or whatever, so Monday. It changed, said waiting week credited, and so far I'm good. Like, I've gotten actually paid now because it's been another week. Once the ball got rolling, though, with the unemployment, like, I started to, like, come back to be myself. It was just like, I wasn't sleeping. My anxiety was through the roof. Like, I wasn't enjoying my time off. You'd think somebody who used to work 7 days a week and just beg for time off, like, you'd think I'd be able to kind of enjoy it. Not going to bed at an early time, not waking up to an alarm, all that good stuff. But no, it was miserable. I was probably sleeping a couple hours a night, just tossing and turning. All my friends, they're playing Warzone and all that stuff on the computer, and I was like, I don't even want to play. I'm not fun to talk to right now. But once the unemployment stuff got rolling, like within like a day or two, like I kind of like it just a huge weight was lifted off my chest because I was getting like over like $140 more a week than I thought I was gonna get. That was the thing too. Like I kept telling myself, I'm like, worst case scenario, you just go get another job. Like, and I know that's easier said than done, but there was one day like I spent the entire day on Indeed, like just sifting through jobs and applying. I applied at Verizon because their pay was actually very, very comparable to what I was making. But the thing was, like, with me not driving all the way to Ohio, I'd be saving over $100 a week in gas. So that's over $400 a month. That's a couple dollars less. If I can find a job local to my house, I can take a couple dollar an hour hit and still be like bringing home the same amount of money, if that makes sense, because I'm not spending over $400 a month in gas. That's an insane amount, but I work far from home. So the Verizon job, I was like, that could be really cool. I love tech stuff, I love phones, I can help people, I'm good with stuff like that. So I'm like, I applied, I went through this questionnaire, and they denied me or whatever. And then I applied. There was a TWB, it's a factory by my house. They do like metal blanks and stuff like that, and welding and whatnot. They had a high-low position open. It was like urgently hiring, need, apply ASAP. And it was like, I think it was like 22 an hour, which is just shy of what I make now, a couple bucks less. And I'm like, that would be sweet. Like a permanent high-low position. It's literally like, I'd say like it's within like 6 minutes of my house, my driveway. And I'm like, that would be insane. Like, I could take a lunch break and come home. Like, I can't even fathom that thought. Applied, and literally like 2 hours later, they emailed me, said, no thanks. So then the job was reposted. So I applied again. And then like 3 days later, they said, no thanks. And then I applied at one, I don't remember what they were called, but it's a factory. I believe it's like for groceries and stuff, but they're like a distribution center. So you get like a pick sheet and you have to like build the pallet and put the stuff on the pallet and whatnot. And I think the starting pay was like 22 and some change, or 21 and some change. Really good pay. The hours seemed good. It seemed like they had opportunities for overtime. But what I didn't like was it said, frequently lifting up to like 50 to 70 pounds, or frequently lifting like 40 pounds, sometimes lifting up to 50, and then like sometimes up to 70. And I'm like, I'm fat as it is. Like, I've already got back problems for my job. This would just probably cripple me, for lack of a better term. So they actually they emailed me about an interview, but I never ended up setting it up because I was like, I have the opportunity, like if I have to, I will. I'm not going to watch my life crumble from beneath me, but for right now, I'm okay, if that makes sense. But I am looking, because like I was saying before, and I think I never got back to the subject, I have been toying the idea around of jumping into a different career, because I've been with my place for 12 years. I've applied for a supervisor like 5 different times. They're taking these random people, that have less seniority than me and stuff like that, and no shade to them whatsoever. All the guys that have got it so far are great, but it just kind of sucks because I'm like, I've been there longer, I know more stuff and whatnot. So it's kind of, it kind of hurts, in the long run. And like, I haven't even gotten an interview, like I know a lot of people that have gotten turned away, but they, they've at least been interviewed and talked to about it and stuff like that. And I haven't even got that. I've went in there, I've called, so I'm just like, I'm kind of like a dead end at my job. Like, it's just, I'm topped out. I'd like to make more money, and even if I could make that same hourly rate somewhere closer to home, I can save a lot of money per month, which is huge in this economy. I'm also like in the predicament of like, there's literally not a better time to apply to like literally any job and try it out. I can go work any, like I have 100% open availability. I can go work, any job that would hire me, of course, but I can go work anywhere. And if I don't like it, say, hey, I'm out. I don't like it, and then I'm just go back to my unemployment. Or, maybe I really enjoy the place and I'm like, wow, there's potential for me to grow here. I really like the environment. The company seems better. It's close to home. Just really overall seems like a better opportunity for me to take this. And then I don't have to go back to my job. Or I can go work one of these jobs, if I decide like, all right, look, this unemployment isn't enough. Go work one of these jobs till we get called back to work, and then say, sorry, I'm out. Quit that new job and, go back to my job, because my job is still there. I'm just not working it right now. You know what I mean? So like, I'm kind of in that predicament where it's like, I want to enjoy my time off and just rest and relax and hang out, catch up on sleep, like let my body heal and rest and whatnot. And like my emotional attitude has been way better. Like, not being in that place all the time, like it's a lot better now. So, I'm doing a lot better than I was at the beginning of the strike, but now I'm kind of in the predicament, like, do I want to try something else? And then also, the pessimist side of me is like, well, the minute you go through all that work to get a job, go through the interview process, like I would have to buy an outfit because I don't have like, nice clothes to go to an interview. I would get like, they would sign a new contract and then we'd be back to work, and then I'd have to call them and be like, sorry, I actually had a whole other job the whole time and they went back. So, I'm going back to work now, so I won't be able to work for you guys. So I'm like, that would be just, I would feel stupid, But yeah, so anyways, though, Halloween, our costumes are going to be hilarious. I'm going to need your guys' help. So the costume contest, like they post the pictures, you sign up for the contest like right when we get there, and they take your picture or whatever. And then I guess it's going to be like online and people have to vote. and then like it's gonna go through like phases, like this versus this or something like that. So I'm gonna need your guys' help to vote for me. I'm calling all you guys in. When we get closer, I'll tell you what the costume is. Went through like 7 or 8 different ones. And now the way I know that the costume works, so I thought the contest was just gonna be like at one of the bars, gonna be like, hey, at 8 p.m. we're gonna do the costume contest, and if you want to enter, get in line and just have people like vote right there or something like that. But unfortunately, they're not doing it like that. One thing I do like about it though is they're doing it right when you get there. So, for costumes that have like makeup and stuff like that, you're gonna be all that stuff's gonna get messed up throughout the night, because you're gonna be at bars drinking and you might sweat or something like that. So I'm glad they're doing it right off the bat. But the way they're doing it though is like the company that hosts this bar crawl, I guess, does it in all different kinds of towns or whatever, different states. I'm not sure. And this particular one, like if you win in the group like of this particular exact bar crawl that we're going to, you get 4 free tickets to the bar crawl for next year, and then you get entered into their like national one or whatever, which is the number one person from each one of their different bar crawls, and then like that person that wins gets $1,000 prize. I'm going for the $1,000 prize. My costume is very off the wall, but it's something that like I think let me put it like this. I haven't even seen the movie, which people are going to be like, "Are you serious? You've never seen that?" But even I would know what it's from, and it's hilarious. That's all I'm going to say for now. There will be a video sometime with the costumes. I know what Shelby and Caroline are being. Theirs is going to be funny. Well, mine's going to be funny too, but they're not being something scary, like is what I mean. I know what they're being. They're not like being secretive about it, but I don't know if she's going to share it on, YouTube, so I'll let them tell you. Jake and his girlfriend, or fiance, sorry. Jake and hers is the only one that I'm scared of, like, in the competition. Like, basically, like, let me put it like I wouldn't be mad if they beat me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going for number 1, but if I was number 2 next to them, like, that's okay. So we just got to see how they execute it, though. Like, because I know what they're being, and it's hilarious. But, you got to actually make it look the part, too. So, it's not just like, yeah, that's what we are. So we'll see. I can't wait. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a much-needed night out. Because I had less than half a tank. I probably had, like, a little over a third of a tank on my last day of work. And that was the 14th. I haven't gotten gas until I think it was the 5th. I think it was yesterday we got gas because Shelby had a bunch of fuel points for Kroger, so we both took both our cars and filled up. Got like 60 cents off or whatever. I haven't gotten gas from being at work on the 14th until the 5th of, the next month. Which for me, I normally fill up every every 4th day at least. I'm filling up completely, like from almost empty, filling up. My point also is like I don't leave the house. Shelby works most days. Really, the only thing I've left the house for is we went and saw 10. That movie was amazing, 10 out of 10. And then going grocery shopping. Like that's literally been it. But yeah, all right, guys, for real, I'm wrapping this video up. It's super long. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this mic came through because it's hooked to my phone. I haven't done it in a while. You can see the little light back there when I talk, and if I get too loud, it changes. So hopefully it's come through good. If not, this video is never going up, and I'm never going to make it. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching.